Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. So I am now in Inferno. I managed to grind myself here. Beat hell. One-shot Diablo. Had a lot of problems with different bosses. A lot of problems with different unique packs and champion packs. Different affixes and I'm very tired. Very, very tired. Yeah. So I apologize for not posting any videos for the last few days, for not really answering any comments. I haven't really checked. I have just spent all my time getting through Diablo 3, really. And now that I'm at Inferno, I am pretty well burnt out. I leveled up purely solo. I leveled up without any aid from anybody. No tips, no money or gear or anything, so long and arduous process, and though I enjoyed it, I am very exhausted, and I have no desire now to go through Inferno and do it all over again. To be quite honest, I'm going to post a few Inferno videos, which is the very beginning of Inferno. Then I'm going to just take a break, wait for my friends to catch up, and then we'll do Inferno together. And I will post that. But I am very tired of soloing. It does seem like you level up a lot faster. All the world first guys grouped all the way. And it might depend on who you're grouping with, but really seems like it's a good idea to group. I can tell you it'll make a lot of bosses easier, just in that you have one person tanking, one person being targeted by the instant globe of death, the ability that will instantly kill you while everybody else goes full out DPS. Very handy, whereas when you're soloing, it's your burden to avoid everything at all times while also doing enough DPS to actually kill the boss. The longer it takes, statistically, the more likely you're going to screw up. I definitely proved that when I was going through hell and beating the bosses and what have you. Basically just all getting the proper loadout and build and whatever, and then executing the strategy, developing the strategy, and doing it. But a lot of times, unfortunately, you just might not have enough gear, you might just be under-geared, and there's just no way you can do it. Very important to balance your stats in this game. Do not just stack your primary stat. Don't just stack intelligence or strength or whatever, depending on your class, for damage at the expense of everything else. You will die. You will not survive in hell if you do that. You will not be able to kill bosses, especially later on. In Act 4, there are definitely gear checks, and you will get one-shot by even standard dudes if you do not have enough health. You need to balance health. You need to balance armor for damage reduction. Get dodge. Dodge is extremely useful. You can dodge any attack in this game. There's nothing that can't be dodged. Even boss attacks can be dodged. That would normally one-shot you. Very important. Resistances are very useful, and all of these things that I'm talking about are gained through dodges, dex, resistances, intel. Strength gives you armor. Vit is obviously is life. So use other classes' primary stats. You need to balance survivability with damage. It doesn't matter how much damage you do if you get one shot every time, unless you can go around and instantly kill everything. Now, granted, I actually kind of was able to do that to an extent at the end of Hell using a particular build, which I will probably show at some point, but it was very slow going despite that. It was very reliant on very long cooldowns, and it allowed me to kind of just brute force my way through it, but it was definitely rough. This is a Witch Doctor, by the way. I'm using Firebomb as my primary skill right now. I'm using the level 60 rune that makes it have a large area of effect and do 20% additional weapon damage. I'm using a rune for... I just used it just now for Wall of Zombies, which turns it into a high damage PBAOE. It's still on a long cooldown though, so I just use it as a bit of burst. I'm using Spirit Walk to run in, then use Wall of Zombies. You'll notice that I'm not doing a good job of keeping my Soul Harvest buff up. And if for those of you who play Witch Doctors, that is because of two reasons. For one, I was incredibly tired at this point and no longer gave a damn. For two, because I also have it spec'd for healing, and so I can use it as a defensive healing cooldown in a pinch. I'm using also Spirit Walk as a survivability cooldown for movement, for uptime, for just using the invulnerability window to actually damage enemies, and for, of course, juking and avoiding attacks. I'm using Hex to turn enemies into chickens for crowd control, but more importantly because I'm using the Hedge Magic rune to give me healing. And finally I'm using Fetish Army with the Blow Dart Evolution, whatever it's called, Headhunter I think, to give me a little more damage, but more importantly give me uptime. Enemies will attack the fetishes, allowing you to actually burst them down. Uptime is incredibly important for casters in this game. You have to constantly dodge projectiles and enemies and whatever, so you have very little time to actually do damage. So you want to get as much uptime on targets as humanly possible. This is an issue that definitely plagues the Wizard, also the Witch Doctor, but I do have some ways to ameliorate it. You'll notice I have some lag spikes here. I apologize, I don't know what it was. It seemed like Fraps did not play nice with Blizzard servers. I don't know if it's Fraps or if it's just lag spikes for Blizzard servers, but I did not have such a fluctuating frame rate when I was not using Fraps. I tried recording with XSplit, but that doesn't play nice with my editing software, so it looks like I'm stuck using Fraps. Maybe it'll be updated or something, I don't know. I have no trouble using Fraps on other games. I'm even recording in lower settings. You probably can't really tell, but I'm even recording in lower settings to help deal with that, but it just, I don't know. Unfortunately, and you'll see in later videos, it got to the point that it was lagging so bad when facing champion packs that it made it basically impossible to kill them. Once again, I will just stop playing after these videos. Maybe roll an alt, relax a bit in normal, and wait for my friends to level up a bit. One is already almost through hell as well, so that should be good. I have to say, I feel like a lot of players are going to think that this game is overtuned. You could actually die quite easily in normal, which is far different from Diablo 2, where you could pretty much robot your way through all of it, barring certain things like Diablo and Bale and what have you. But in this game, there's a lot of things that can just blow you up, so maybe a lot of players aren't going to like that. I don't know. I'm interested to see what the player reaction is to this game. I did post a quick video talking about some tips. Most important being turning elective mode on and turning improved tooltips on. So turn those on. Again, I explain it in more detail in the video. Might put a link here for that, if I remember. I did enjoy the playthrough, but it was very tiring, and there were a couple of bosses that took me quite a while to get through. Again, apologize for the lag. I don't know what it's about. Kind of a problem. Don't know what I'm going to do. I had one boss in particular that probably took me a solid 7 hours or so to beat. Took a lot of attempts. Did finally beat him. But it was pretty rough to do solo. This video is actually coming to a close, I see. I'm going to just break this up at what seemed like decent intervals. I'm going to go to town in a second, so it seemed like a good time to just stop the video. As you can see, my inventory is filled with gems. I do finally buy a new tab for my stash to put all the gems and the things I'm saving to sell or to give to my friends as well. But this is about done, guys, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Diablo 3. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and sub, and leave comments and feedback, and have a good one.